Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tim Dillon Show. We are here, very excited.
Are you sure you've been cleaning your monitor the right way? First of all, alcohol and screens don't really mix. Higher concentrations can actually damage the coating of your monitor. Instead, you want to use distilled water, like this guy.
Unlike tap water, it's free of minerals and other particulates that can harm your screen.
You should also use a microfiber cloth because it's safe for your screen while still being effective at cleaning it. Step 1, turn off your monitor. Dampen the cloth with a little bit of that distilled water, and then make sure any excess is removed. Be gentle and use a circular motion to get rid of smudges and any debris. Be sure to use a clean section of the cloth for each pass so that you don't spread that smudge and dirt around. Once you've done a first pass with the wet cloth, it's time for one more wipe with a dry cloth. Now your monitor should be good to go. Next time you need to clean it, just follow these easy steps.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tim Dillon Show. We are here, very exciting. I just tipped a woman $41 in Starbucks. Remember that Bruce Springsteen song, 41 Shots, that he did when Amadou Diallo was shot by the police? 41 shots. All of Bruce's fans, I was at his concert once, I don't know, 99, 2000, something, and all of the Long Island fans and pretty much everyone, they all went for like a cigarette during that song because that was the big like, hey, the cops should stop shooting black people song. And as soon as he was like, 41 shot, everybody's like, let's go get a beer. And then they came back when it was, Born in the USA or something they didn't understand. But I tried, and the reason was I gave her a $50 bill. I'm not saying I'm a good person, I don't do this a lot, but I do tip people well. And I don't do crazy stuff. Like I'm not the David Dobrik used to go and give people Lamborghinis and stuff, and somebody was mired in debt, and he was like, here's a car you don't know how to drive, and it's worth more than, it's like the craziest thing. But YouTubers do it all the time. They're like, hey, today I'm gonna give my parents money, and they would go like, here, with mom and dad, I paid off your house, and the mom would cry. I've never done that. I'm not doing that. What am I gonna do? Buy the mental institution that my mother lives in? I'm gonna go back to the lunatic asylum that she's in and go, surprise, Mom, guess what I did? I bought the mental institution that you live in. What? You know this place? I bought it. I got in bed with a shady healthcare company. We're taking money from the government. We're doing some Medicare fraud, but the good news is you get a slightly bigger room. I mean, no. So there's no, what am I gonna do? She's in the clink. I didn't design her brain, but it's malfunctioned. And so and my father is doing fine. I love him, we speak, he's doing great. He doesn't need anything. These people on Long Island don't need anything. Him and his wife have a lovely life. They drink wine, they have dogs, they walk, they boat, it's good. It's good. If I showed up and paid off their mortgage, they'd be angry with me. They'd think it was some kind of scam. They'd be like, who do you think you are? How did you get our information? Like, no, but you can't do anything good for anyone where I'm from in Long Island. It doesn't work. It only puts you at odds with them long term. So this woman who is a portly, a larger woman, which now that I'm working with a trainer, I've worked with a trainer for 2 days, and I'm on the My Fitness, the Fitness Pal. It's not always a pal because it'll tell you some hard truths, but you put the thing, if you breathe, you have to put it in 2 breaths, and it calculates, shitting, you go shit, whatever it is. You don't do that, but you put in, if you eat like a churro, you have to put it, churro, and you have to, and then it tells you, it tabulates, and then you have less and less at the end of the day, and then the goal is to be all zeros, like your calorie allotment, your macros, your fat, your carbs, your protein, is all whatever in line, so what I realize now is weight is an issue of class, kind of, meaning that there are people that are overweight because they just don't have access to the same type of food that other people do. Now, this is obviously a little abused, right? This is a little bit of a crutch.
Generator repaired.
But not everybody's gonna eat a carrot.
Shield generator critical.
So my point is, when I see somebody working their ass off, and she's a big woman, I feel like, let me give her money so that she can do something good for herself or for her family or whatever. And I'm not, I'm trying to be a good person here. I'm just saying, and the reason it happened was because she didn't have change for the 50, and she goes, do you want to use a credit card or Apple Pay? A friend of mine who's in the store with me, we're in the coffee bean, and I said, well, no. I said, why don't you just keep it? And this woman was so horrified by that, by the idea of that. She thought it was like some type of, no. I said, I want you to keep the money. She said, no, it's $8. No, it's too much. I said, no, you do something nice. You do something nice for yourself with it. And then she somehow makes change and then puts the change in the tip cup and goes, take your money. And I'm like, no. And I'm wondering, is she like an addict? Can she not have cash? Is there like a reason she doesn't have cash? Is she gonna take $40 right now and go buy something she shouldn't have? A rock? I don't know what she's gonna do, right? Like, she was so terrified by that. And in Los Angeles, displays of kindness are so incredibly rare that I understand. So I told her, I was like, I was a tour guide on a double-decker bus, and I used to rely on tips. And a lot of people didn't tip. And there was a black guy in the thing, and he was like, you a tour guide? You a tour manager? And I was like, no, I was a guide. I would show people the buildings. He's like, damn. And I was like, he's a cool guy. And then he's like, what do you do now? I'm like, oh, I'm a comedian. He's like, you a comedian? And then we looked up. So then you feel like a piece of shit. Then we looked up the Netflix special, and she's like, I'm gonna watch it. The good deed's over. It's been completely washed away. Now, there's people in there going, what is wrong with this man? So people that are gonna see me go, this guy is harassing people to watch his fucking Netflix special at the Coffee Bean. All I tried to do is quietly give this woman $40 for her to go buy drugs. And she didn't do it. But that's what I mean about the pitfalls of being nice. I do a lot of shows in LA, and they've been a lot of fun. And we've been talking about the Ukraine a lot on the podcast and on the show. And a lot of people have told me, they say, well, you seem pretty like anti-Ukraine. And I'm not anti-Ukraine. I'm anti taking the American war machine's word for it about any conflict anywhere in the world. And if you were not an idiot, you would be too. I feel horrible for the people of Ukraine. We had a kid on, a comedian on when this started, 7, 8 months ago, 10 months ago. And we had him on, and, it was incredibly sad what they're going through. I don't think anybody is happy about that. I've been somebody that wants that to end. I don't want nuclear holocaust. I don't want a war that destroys all of Ukraine. I don't want any of that. I don't know what's going to happen. I hope that, I've always hoped that Russia would say, okay, we're done. But it doesn't seem like that's realistic with Russia's current leadership. In fact, they keep mobilizing people. They're calling up more troops. The attacks are getting worse and worse and worse. So, and when the American war machine goes, we'll support Ukraine no matter what, no matter how long, wink, it means they want a 30-year Cold War that will just destroy Russia and bleed Russia out and make people here a lot of money. Instead of forcing some type of agreement, or even trying for some type of agreement. So again, it's not, and again, I'm not, you don't absolve Russia. They invaded the Ukraine. They invaded a sovereign country. Wars are never good. Wars are never about, one thing. Usually they're more complex. And what bothers me is the narrative that everybody is fed all the time in this country is like good, evil, right, wrong. And here's the line. And if you even go, well, why is that? You're like, yeah, with that. It's not realistic. That people are not going to have questions. You're not going to go, wait, what the fuck's going on? Explain to me what's going on. I just want to know what's going on. So I'm going to play a battle right now. And this is something, I'm rarely serious on the show, but I'm going to be serious right now because this is disturbing to me. There's carnage going on in the Ukraine right now. There's carnage. And it's something, and I'm actually texting an attorney. I don't even know if we can play this. This is footage that I got from a person on the front lines. That's footage that I got from a person on the front lines. And it's one of those things where I'm worried as a broadcaster, because if I play this footage and it alters the course of the war or something happens, but this has not been seen on the media. This is footage from the front lines sent to me from what's going on in Russia and the Ukraine right now. I'm dead serious. I just got the okay from my attorney. I'm telling you right now, if you have children in the room, this is not for them, but as adults, we all have to understand the stakes and what's going on. Play it.
You wildin', guys! Shit, you are wildin'! You're wildin'!
I don't know. It's hard to watch that. And I don't know which side, admittedly, because they all look so similar, I don't know which side is wildin'. But Russia or the Ukraine, someone was wildin', and then someone came in and then fixed that. But what I'm saying here is that the war's a problem, okay? And we need to figure out a solution. If we're gonna keep seeing scenes like that, I mean, it's crazy. We are the United States is sending in the equipment. They're sending in the waffle irons. They're sending in the coffee burner. They're sending in the griddles to make the hash browns smothered and covered. They're sending in the machinery of death so that this war can go on. That wasn't Ukraine. It was a Waffle House. See, they don't have Waffle Houses in Ukraine. Otherwise, things would be peaceful like they are here. Hello? Can you hear me? My name is HelloFresh. You get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients for your seasonal cooking recipe. Delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store. And count on HelloFresh. Make home cooking easy and fun and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. I'm telling you right now, you know what's so easy for me is when I wake up and I have a pre-planned routine of food. And if you're like me and you're on the go, are you on the go? Are you on the go? You're on the go. Because what happens in this world is you're just so, busy with everything. With the kids and the wife and the husband and the job and the traffic and the politics and the family and the dogs and the cats and everybody. It's just you're being pulled in a million different directions. And you don't have time to make a nutritious meal for everybody. And you've got New Year's goals. And HelloFresh is here to help you achieve them. Skip the grocery store. Take control of your time and budget with delicious recipes delivered right to your door. HelloFresh's festive fare collection features limited time recipes with seasonal produce and premium protein. Get out of the post-holiday slump with these elevated winter classics. Looking for an easy way to eat well and save money this year? Cut back on expensive takeout and delivery. Get started with HelloFresh. You'll love how fast, easy, and affordable it is to whip up restaurant-quality meal right in your own kitchen. It's fun. You get the recipes, you get the food, you get to cook in the kitchen, you get to have a glass of wine, and everything's right there. And you have that, you know what I mean? You can have baby back ribs, chocolate chip brownies, and everything in between. I love that that's tailored for my needs. It's like nothing healthy. They're like, it's called HelloFresh. Then you look at my audience, they're like, you can have butter cake and baked beans. Like, I'm sure somebody else's audience, they're like, Mandarin chicken salad. My audience is like, don't you want baby back ribs? How about some cookies? I've tried HelloFresh. I have it. I use it. It's great. I love cooking in my kitchen with the ingredients that I get from a farm. And that's what makes me feel good. I look at my kids and my wife and I say, look at the meal that I've just made. And they say, thank you very much. Most of them. One of them is nonverbal, but we're figuring that out. Go to HelloFresh.com/TimD21 and use code TimD21 for 21 free meals plus free shipping. Go to HelloFresh.com/TimD21 and use code TimD21 for 21 free meals plus free But Putin
shipping.
has a new plan. He's calling up these drug addicts. And this is, by the way, I am a big fan of this as an idea because I've been a drug addict. Many would say I still am. My addictions and compulsions come out with food and cigarettes and all kinds of things. And I try to keep them, down and choose the light. But drug addicts can be very useful. They don't have anything to live for. This is what's good about a drug addict in a war. They have nothing to live for. If you were in the depths of drug, and by the way, if you're in the depths of drug addiction, don't use this as some excuse to do something heinous. You know what I'm saying. Clean yourselves up. But I'm saying, if you're really in the depths of a drug addiction, you really don't have anything to live for. You don't care about anything else except the drug. So those people are bodies that can be thrown into conflict. Let's do a close-up. Russia sends drug addicts to war, to mobilization numbers here. Now, close up on these guys. These are the guys that I think may turn the tide. Go all the way to the right. Look at this guy. The little guy is great. Rogan is fighting with him. But no, to the right, go all the way to this guy. That guy is drunk right now. He's hammered right now. And I like the look of this. This is a motley crew. You know, it reminds me of The Sandlot. Remember the movie The Sandlot? Where you'd have a bunch of, it's like neighborhood kids, and they're like a scraggly rat pack of you. Got the fat kid and the ginger and the skinny kid and the wimp. And then everybody's going to come together at the end and kill people in the Ukraine. That, I think, is this, because it's a motley crew of junkies and drug addicts and people that are in Russian prisons for stealing and stuff. And what Putin has said is you have a chance to regain your glory by going to the Ukraine and fighting. And I think it's we know everything, we don't want a war. We don't want a war to happen. But if it gives Russian convicts and drug addicts a purpose, it's not all for naught. Like we want, And if you look at these men, they just seem ready. They seem ready to go. They seem ready to go. They seem excited, and they're ready to go. Let's read a little bit of this article to see. So Ukrainian intelligence believes that Russian President Putin is preparing to announce another wave of mobilization. And here's the thing. All of these things are war propaganda from both sides. We don't know what's true, but that's the fun. Russia is sending drug addicts to war in an effort to meet its mobilization quota. The information about the massive mobilization of drug addicts it's amazing. Like, these drug addicts, the information about the massive wave of drug addicts was confirmed by one of the Russian soldiers who surrendered to the resistance movement. According to him, he was not cured of addiction and continues to use drugs while fighting in, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, Zaporizhia. The man took the drugs with him as medicine. Well, why would you stop drugs in the Ukrainian war? Could there be less of a reason to get sober than fighting a war in the Ukraine? And so I don't know where they're finding these drug addicts. Where are they getting them? Are they just getting them off the street? Are they going into the schools? Convicts offered erasure of criminal records if they serve. Here we go. To leverage people into enlisting, the Kremlin has weaved leniency into long-standing legislation, meaning like they're getting a little desperate now. They're like, let's get the criminals. Let's get the junkies and bring them over. Yeah. I think that's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. You have a bunch of... Is that the Azov Battalion's fucking uniforms? They look sick as fuck. Dude, how sick That's what they're fighting in beanies? Like that? Is this war even happening? Is this a wag the dog? No, I think it is happening, but I will say that, you know, I feel like we're in the end of it now. I feel like it's kind of like Avatar in the third hour. It's like, wrap it up. Like, I feel like we're getting to that point with it now where it's like, you know, where people are kind of like, hey. Wait, cinnamon. Go get that money back. Elizabeth Holmes, by the way, did you hear this? You expect... Now, Elizabeth Holmes was this bitch who was selling these fake blood e-meters to diabetics because she had all these people invested in this Theranos company. You know, Bad Blood is the book and movie and all that stuff. And basically, she got sentenced, and she then tried to flee to Mexico. She tried to flee after conviction. I mean, it's the woman... See, first of all, she only got 11 years. It's not a lot. I've talked about this before. This is not enough to dissuade anybody
The
from doing
impressed.
this.
Good work.
She was giving people fake blood tests. Didn't work. Giving people a test where they go, I think I'm okay. I mean, that's the human cost of this. They give her 11 years in jail, and the bitch wants to go to Mexico. She tries to flee, and I guess they catch her. I mean, it's like... Listen to this. The government... Here we go. Prosecutors said in a filing that Holmes' legal defense had argued that she had a flawless pretrial record, but does not mention her, quote, attempt to flee. They said the government learned on January 23rd, 2022, that Holmes booked a one-way flight to Mexico, scheduled for January 26th. But a return flight was not scheduled. Well, I do that a lot. You book one, you don't know when you're coming back. The government then mentioned the trip to Holmes' defense attorney, and the flight was canceled after that. She was probably just trying to go see Mexico. She's probably just trying to go, get her margaritas on, and see the beautiful ancient Mayan ruins. And yet she's accused of fleeing. She's surrendering herself to custody on April 27th, we hope. Or she'll flee again. Elizabeth Holmes, we've got our eyes on you. I read that book with the, you know, with the... Look at her. She's just... She's one of those people, she thought it would work. You know, some of these people, they really think the thing, you know? Because everybody's told this horse shit when they grow up that, like, you can believe. You're like, just believe. And then that, you know, can lead to good things where people are like, I lost 10 pounds, you know? And then whatever, you know? But then you start selling fake blood tests to diabetics. That's also... And
ammunition here.
Work, believe. And she, you know, she constantly looks like she's in some kind of catatonic state. Like she's not fully with us on planet Earth. Like she's just kind of glazed over. Elizabeth Holmes. She's, yeah, there's a glaze to her. Look at that. There's a glaze to her. She's not fully here. She's not fully here. There's something, she's somewhere else listening to
Could
the
use a
song.
medic here!
We were at the Improv the other night, and a woman came busting into the green room and started telling Trevor Wallace about his higher self. And she's like, she goes, your higher self. He's the girl in your... She goes, your higher self came to me during the thing. She goes, I'm a whatever. I'm a spiritual whatever they call themselves. And she goes, I'm sitting here and your higher self came to me and said that your soulmate was the girl from the joke where you have some joke about a girl making fun of you eating carrot cake. And she goes, your higher self came to me and said that is your soulmate. And then Trevor Wallace was like, okay. And Trevor Wallace actually is dating that girl now, so it was kind of weird, you know? And then I was like, did my higher self say anything about the Ukraine to you? So I talked a little bit about that. Did my higher self get involved? One of the most exciting things about a new year is that you have no idea what adventures are in store for you. From new travel experiences to new jobs to picking up new skills, there's no better way to prepare for 2023 than by learning a new language with Babbel. Babbel is the only language learning app that sold more than 10 million subscriptions. Thanks to Babbel's addictively fun and easily bite-sized language. You can eat everything's food for my audience, huh? Bite-sized language lessons. Fry up some lessons with Babbel. With Babbel, you only need 10 minutes to complete a lesson. Conversations in a new language in as little as 3 weeks. Other language learning apps use AI for their lesson plans, but Babbel lessons were created by over 150 language experts and voiced by real native speakers, not computers. Their teaching method has been, and when America falls, where are you gonna go and how are you gonna communicate? Babbel speech recognition technology helps you improve your pronunciation and accent. So Babbel teaches you not only how to speak in the language, but how to do the very cringeworthy accent. There are so many ways to learn with Babbel. In addition to lessons, you can access podcasts, games, videos.
I've got ammo for you here.
Plus, it comes with a 20-day money-back guarantee. Start your language learning journey today with Babbel. With the Babbel.
Keep rolling. You've got this.
Let's do it fun.
Got him.
Right now, get up to 55% off your subscription when you go to babbel.com/TIM.
you much.
And I've been doing this because I want to learn other languages, and it's actually been working. Me gusta helado. That's babbel.com/Tim for up to 55% off your subscription. That's babbel.com/Tim for 55% off your subscription. Babbel, language for life. I like Greta Thunberg now, and I'll tell you, it's been a while since I've checked in on her. What I like about her is in the beginning, like Greta Thunberg, is kind of like, you know,
The facility is secure.
environmental, like, I don't want to go to school, and you better start using brown toilet paper, and planes are gross, you know? But now she's evolved into this Joker-type character who I think wants to just blow things up, like a real eco-terrorist. And I think she just wants to, like, burn things down and strike fear into the hearts of men, which I kind of like, even though this is all set up. The Germans, here's the thing with the Germans. When you make soap out of a race of people, you really have to do a lot on the back nine to make up for that. So what they do all the time is they really just let
Take some ammunition.
do a lot of crazy shit, because most people in a lot of people in Germany are Nazis, and it wouldn't take much for them to be Nazis again. Like, if they knew there was a pathway for them to go right back to being Nazis, they would be Nazis, because that was the period of German greatness, truly. And I don't mean it was good, it was bad, but to German nationalists, that was their era, right? So what the German government tries to do is they try to, like, they go the other way. They let all the migrants in, and some of them are going to goose you. Enough, you know. Don't complain. That Turkish guy grabbed your tit. We made soap out of people. You gotta let this stuff happen. The Turkish guy got a little handsy in the march. Sorry, we made soap out of people. We gotta let this shit happen. So that's really what it is. Truly, that's what they go on they're a little bit, and they have some weird S&M stuff. You know, they tie businessmen and stuff to tables, and they shit on glass, and they jerk off under it. They're into blood and piss play and stuff, and it's all very deep, repressed, kind of, but some kind of cool in a way. And they have these raves and underground tunnels in Berlin. So Greta Thunberg is being detained at this protest, and the German police, they've kind of set this up because the police are told, obviously, we can't hurt Greta Thunberg. She seems kind of German, right? The name Thunberg, it seems a little like, they're like, listen, we have to deal with her, but we're going to arrest her. And they're saying, of course, that it is not like that it wasn't stagecraft, like it was real. But, you know, it's fake because they've caught video. There's video of the cops and Greta kind of having, but by the way, I've been arrested, and I've had cops be kind of friendly to me, and I've said a funny thing, and they've laughed at it, and that wasn't a fake arrest. But there's video supposedly of Greta being arrested.
SQ compromised.
It's kind of like a cute arrest. Like, this is cute. She's smiling. It's kind of like the media's there. Everybody knows what, you know, she's doing. What they should have done is, like, if they wanted to, look, she's standing there, she knows how this is all gonna go. This is all, you know, like programmed ahead of time. And what they should have done is they should have choreographed it where she's thrown to the ground. And they put their boots on her, and they rip her hands behind her back and carry her out. Like, you ever seen a scene in Casino where Pesci's like, open the door with his head? Like that should have been the way they took her out, just like a battering ram. And they shouldn't have hurt her, but it would have made it more realistic, you know, because they're in those stormtrooper outfits, but yet they're carrying her out like a little baby. So what you're seeing is like, nobody's satisfied by this. You know, I would, if I was directing this, which someone is,
SCU
I'd be like,
critical.
more struggle, Greta, honey, struggle. Get her on the ground. We're gonna get her on the ground, and you guys put the boots on her. We want to see you struggle on the ground. We're gonna snap the arms back behind you. We're gonna pick you up. You're gonna be screaming, okay? Maybe a muzzle. Should she bite? Should she spit?
Enemy medic spot.
Okay, wait, take two, Greta. It's not gonna be biting, honey, but it's gonna be spit. You're gonna spit at him. Yes, that's a good idea. So when you spit at him, you're spitting at him. He's going to maybe smack you like a mime smack kind of smack. And then once you've spit, it gives them the direction where now they're going to have to muzzle you. You understand? Because in this scene, honey, are you with us today?
SCU
Okay.
compromised.
We're just gotta focus. We're
SCU
losing
compromised.
light. We're shooting and we're
SCU
losing light.
stabilized.
So here's what, in this scene, you're very, very angry. Because, what are they even protesting? What are they protesting?
They're outmatched. Finish them off.
Oh, a coal mine. So, honey, in this scene, your girl from the, you know, whatever. What is she, Dutch? Denmark? Sweden? Greta, you're a Swedish girl. and
SCU
you're famous
compromised.
And you hate the coal
SCU
mine.
compromised.
Because this coal mine makes the air black. And when you breathe in, you don't get the sweet air, you get just the tar of the coal. And you
Critical.
don't like that, you're very angry. And you see these cops, and the cops come in, and they represent everything that is wrong. Patriarchy, militarism, capitalism. And they come in with their big batons, these phallic symbols. But you see you, Greta, you stand there and you kind of stand your ground. And they're going to take you into custody, the
stabilized.
young girl protecting us all, saving us from ourselves. Now, when they take
SCU
you into custody,
compromised.
you have to struggle, you have to fight a little bit, because they're going to eventually muzzle you. You spit at one of them, and then they come in and they muzzle you, and then we can see how short it is. But I think what happened was then they got notes. This is what happens sometimes when you're in production. And somebody goes, here's what the studio feels that this needs to be, it needs to feel more symbolic. We don't want to see Greta roughed up. We don't want to see her spitting, and we don't want to see her put in a muzzle. We've really decided that the move here is just to carry
Ammunition
her out
here.
respectfully. We don't want to walk around because that seems too easy. So we do want the shot of him carrying. But we're
That
gonna
brought new
mix
meaning
the
to hostile
spitting and the
takeover.
muzzle. Okay? Okay, Greta, change the plans, honey. You can go to craft services, get her a juice. No spitting, no muzzle, no struggle on the ground. They are gonna lift you up, and they are gonna take you out.
I think I
As
broke
they take
it!
you out, you do a light smile because you're smiling because all of your ideas about the world have been made real by these scary men that are taking you. You understand that? And this is how in 5 years we take everybody's car. Yes, that's the goal. This is how in 5 years we take everyone's car. So we just want to get this perfect. Ready? And action. And that's what they do. It's a production. But, you know, I would have said, make it a little more rough. But apparently,
soldier down.
somebody came in and said, you know, Germany's they're trying to emerge as a moral leader of Europe. Which is tough to do when you have to pass that. So what you're seeing happen is they're trying to be very delicate and handle these situations very artfully. And I think they did a decent enough job with this one. I like Greta. I like her because, you know, everyone's got a part to play in this world.
Enemy heavy spotted.
Everybody does, and she's doing it well. It's not Academy Award yet. Nobody starts out Robert Pattinson. They start out as one of these idiots on the Cobra Kai, and then if they're good, they get to that thing. I've talked about ShipStation for so many years, and everybody I know who's tried it, including me, is so happy because they handle all the back end, all the shipping. If you have an e-commerce business, you need to be focusing on lead generation, marketing, getting new clients, acquisition. This is the move. The front office is the most important part. The back office is just to facilitate getting your product shipped, making sure everybody's happy. It shouldn't be stressful. Running a business can be stressful, but using ShipStation is easy. They work with all of the major shippers. It's amazing how easy they make it. You can automate one simple dashboard, all these routine shipping tasks, print shipping labels, easily compare rates and delivery times to optimize every shipment and automate delivery notifications. And with enterprise solutions that make warehouse optimization easy, ShipStation scales when you do. With the best discounts in the industry, you'll never worry about overpaying for shipping. Get up to 88% off USPS and UPS rate. And if that's not enough, use my promo code, Try ShipStation free for 2 months. Over 130,000 companies have grown their e-commerce businesses with ShipStation. And 98% of companies that stick with ShipStation for a year become customers for life. Keep growing your business all year long with ShipStation. You know, my friend makes little voodoo dolls and sends them to people, and they curse people that have wronged them. And she uses ShipStation. And it's been amazing for her. She has a thriving business of selling these voodoo dolls. Use promo code Tim Dillon today at ShipStation.com to sign up for your free 60-day trial. That's ShipStation.com, promo code Tim Dillon. Friend, and this is, a sad story. We don't love this. Alec Baldwin was a friend of the show and was very kind to us. He had me on his podcast, and he's a real star, and he's done, there's some things he's done that, obviously you wouldn't co-sign, the shooting of the lady. But we don't do it, he'd do it on purpose. It seems weird that he would do it on purpose, right? So they're trying him for involuntary manslaughter. I love this. Alec Baldwin charged. PR expert says star on Hollywood Blacklist. It's like, what about the involuntary manslaughter, John? Isn't that more important? So he won't do the Trump impression this year. It's like on SNL, it's like, what about the involuntary manslaughter? But it's weird because this is how I understand it. Alec Baldwin gets to the set. I don't know why there's a real bullet.
Check your fire, I'm NC.
Alec Baldwin, the person who put the bullet in the gun, is also being charged, and I believe with involuntary manslaughter. This costume design or this props. I was just
Destroyed an enemy flash.
I was on this film, and maybe my scenes in it, we'll see. And you would go and we'd get props, and then the props would,
This will be good as new.
And they would put I can't talk about it, so I can't tell you what the props were, but you get the props at the beginning of the day. You would de-prop at the end of the day. You would give them their props.
I'm on your
nobody
side.
Shot anybody in the face. Now. So Alec Baldwin and the armorer, they call it the armorer.
Spotted a hostile medic.
But the armorer will be charged with the same thing, which is the involuntary manslaughter after fatal shooting of Halyna Hutchins on the set of Rust, the movie here. And, so that woman's name is Hannah Gutierrez Reed. She's the film's armorer, and each will be charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Play that up there. I wonder what that is. He's reacting to this. He's unhappy. I don't know if this is him reacting, but this is the chaotic moments after the shooting of Russ. So after Alec Baldwin has shot this woman, this is okay, it's an ad. Motherfucker. The ad fool. But here, so we have this is footage right after. Now, does Alec in this scene, he seems distressed. He's not.
Got him. Talk it down.
I would hope, like, this thing is like, he's not happy. So this is right after we have
I'm an engineer. I'll repair you.
He does seem remarkably composed after it. It doesn't seem like the greatest. Doesn't seem like the greatest. You know, I was there in rehearsal. I was asking myself. But I met him, and I do not believe he did this on purpose. So I don't know. From what I believe, but I also don't believe. To be fair is fair. I want to be fair here, and maybe he'll call me and scream at me after this. But like, I feel like he's a person that maybe he doesn't have as much empathy as he should. He may lack a little bit of empathy, and I think part of that is because being in the system for as long as he's been in it, he may not have the empathy, or he may just not show the empathy. Like when I met him, I felt like, number one, he didn't do it on purpose, because why would he do it? But number two, was he keeping him up at night? I don't know if it was keeping him up at night. I think he slept soundly. I think he was sleeping soundly. And not that I'm saying that somebody should go to jail for sleeping soundly, but it's come off a little bit like, I don't know that there's been the requisite amount of mea culpa after shooting someone in the eye. And yeah, it's his composure. That's the thing. There's no like, oh my God, is she okay? How did this happen? I can't believe it. I shot someone and she fell to the ground. It's more like, earlier in rehearsal, I was saying to myself, how could would anyone believe I would just shoot this woman and she'd fall to the ground? But these are actors. And when you're a real actor, I've done this over and over again. I'm not going to explain it again. But for 1 minute, repeat myself and go, these people, they're always kind of acting. If they're good, and he's good. And I just think that he's playing that role, and always kind of a role. When he comes across like that, I don't know that, most people, if somebody told me, hey, at the film that I was just on, if somebody told me, you just shot someone in the face by mistake, I would hope, by the way, I'd be inconsolable, like a mother of however kids, like, if I killed a person, like, you would think I'd be inconsolable, I'd be throwing myself on the floor, crying, no, my name, no, and but this is what I'd hope. But the composure that he has is, I think, what disturbs people. Has he reacted to this? Has Alec Baldwin, because supposedly he's raging behind the scenes, what people are saying. Now, obviously, we don't know if it's true. But he's
you got your bonus check.
I think he was going to have a little comeback. I would have loved to do something with him. He called me, and, he said, like, maybe there's a sitcom.
Enemy galaxy in the area.
I would have loved to do. Listen, because everybody's on a he shot a woman. I sat next to Alex Jones. Hey, let's all, we move on. We do a fun sitcom and everything.
Hostile galaxy in the area.
But, Hilaria has, and she's doing the Spanish accent, but I think she should be allowed to. First of all, she's under duress. I've always supported her need to be any race she wants. What is she saying now? By the way, we support. They have 7 kids.
Enemy galaxy in the area.
It's like, imagine having to explain this to 7 children. One child, it would be hard. 7
Got an ID on an enemy galaxy?
Shot someone at work. 7 times.
Hostile light assault trooper spotted.
Daddy shot someone at work. Waffle. Daddy shot someone at work.
Enemy light assault in the area.
Daddy shot someone at work. It's one of them. Sprouts, Daddy shot someone at work. But just the idea of that, such a large family. God bless, God bless. Listen, we support Baldwin's because he might get out of this somehow and have it. I would love to be a part of, like, his return. It's a sitcom. Picture it. Spacey, Baldwin, Dylan. No? Yes. I love Helix. In my house in Long Island, we have all these Helix beds. They're less expensive than other beds I've bought, but they're actually the best beds. Everybody loved the Helix beds. It's true. Helix Sleep is a premium mattress brand that provides tailored mattresses based on your unique sleep preferences.
Someone fix this up!
So if you're a fatty bombati, you will maybe require some type of firmer mattress that you will still depress with the size of your mask, but it won't take as long, okay? They have a mattress for big and tall sleepers, and even a mattress made just for kids. So how will you know which Helix mattress works best for you? You take the Helix Sleep Quiz and find your perfect mattress in under 2 minutes. And your personalized mattress is shipped straight to your door free of charge. Helix knows there's no better way to test out a new mattress than by sleeping on it in your baby.
Visual on a TR Prowler.
Helix knows there's no better way to test out a new mattress than by sleeping on it in your own home. That's why they offer a 100-night risk-free trial. Try out your new Helix mattress. See how your body adjusts. And if you decide it's not the best fit, we welcome your return for a full refund.
Spotted a Republic Prowler.
Sleeps differently. My aunt, for example, in the middle of the night, she gets up and screams and she's got a knife and runs in the backyard. So everybody has a different, she starts screaming.
Visual on a TR Prowler. Spotted a Republic Prowler.
Past life. That's his wife. High ranking. And she feels very guilty about that. Yard she goes with a knife and screams. We don't know. But this she loves, but since she got a Helix mattress, she does not do this as much. Not only is the mattress the best I've slept on, but the setup was fast and easy. Helix mattresses are delivered in a box and straight to your door for free. Plus, Helix mattresses are American-made and come with a 10 to 15-year warranty, depending on the model. And remember, you will get to try it out for 100 nights. Literally, I've advertised a lot of shit on the show. I'll be very honest with you. They gave me these mattresses for free because we kind of asked them to. I have bought Tempur-Pedics. I've spent thousands of dollars on mattresses. These are the most comfortable mattresses I have. I'm not even lying. These are the most comfortable mattresses that I have, and they were inexpensive. They were free for me, but they were inexpensive for you. And literally everybody that stayed in my house was everybody there on and I'm not lying though. This is genuinely amazing.
Thank you
When
much.
we did all those FTX reads, you know, we should have done more due diligence. But this, I am not fucking around with. I have these things, we sleep on them. And they're made in America by Americans, and that matters. Helix is offering $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/TimD. Helix is offering up to $200. Did you hear that? Off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/TimD. With Helix, better sleep starts now. Here's the thing. I agree with her. I agree with Ilaria that they should let it play out. You know, at the end of the day, this is a tragic thing. Nobody's lost their life. There's going to be a court case about this. It's going to be handled. And, you know, we can't, we stand back here. But I mean, you know, I don't think Alec Baldwin did it on purpose. Do I think that he is, you know, maybe his what he's talked about has been a little callous, and, you know, people have been maybe disappointed by that, but here's the thing I'll say about Alec is that everyone grieves in different ways. Everyone grieves in different ways, and maybe his way to grieve this woman's death is to be stoic. Maybe he's being strong. Alec might be being strong. And then some people go, oh, he doesn't care. He shot that movie, he doesn't care. He's only thinking about his career. Perhaps. But also, maybe he's just being strong. And don't we need strength? Don't we need it? This chat bot, this Google chat bot, everybody's Google's now calling help from Larry Page and Sergey Brin. This chat bot is last month Larry Page and Sergey Brin, Google's founder. And by the way, we gotta cover these things. These stories are eventually going to become your life.
My fault.
Whether it affects you now or not, it's going to affect you eventually. So Google's founders held several meetings with company executives. The topic, a rival's new chatbot. A clever AI product that looked as if it could be the first notable threat in decades to Google's $149 billion search business. Mr. Page and Mr. Brin, who had not spent much time at Google since they left their daily roles with the company, reviewed Google's AI product strategy. According to a couple of people with knowledge of the meetings, they're not allowed to discuss it. They approved plans and pitched ideas to put more chatbot features into Google's search engine. They also advised to company leaders who have put AI front and center in their plans. Re-engagement with Google's founders emphasized the urgency felt among many Google executives about artificial intelligence and the chatbot. The bot, which was released by the small San Francisco company OpenAI 2 months ago, amazed users by simply explaining complex concepts and generating Ukraine war and generating ideas from scratch. More important to Google, it looked as if it could offer a new way to search for information on the internet. So this chatbot, which apparently will, AI is going to, they estimate that some
reloading.
amount of online content, 80 or 90%, something crazy, will eventually just be generated by AI. Even shows like this will be replaced by some type of chatbot, some type of angry Irish AI, because AI can harness meaningless rage and weave it into some comedic form, I imagine. So all of these things are coming. And what's interesting is when we talk about things like this, we're documenting the destruction of the human race. And what has happened is Google has wait a minute, we're destroying the human race and the need for people to think on their own. And then this small company out of San Francisco, OpenAI, goes, actually, we are also destroying the human race at a pace that may be quicker than you. So then what happens, and this is how everything gets done in the world, Google flips the fuck out. They go code red. They are destroying the human race at a faster pace than we are. Fuck, we gotta get back in the lab. And that's essentially what Google's doing. But make no mistake what AI is. Artificial intelligence is going to replace human intelligence. This is what people want. This is what will make things more efficient. Art is going to come from AI. NFTs are already coming from AI. All of this stuff, right? Basically, AI is replacing human function at a kind of an alarming rate. And it's even scarier when you think about where this eventually goes, and what happens to people. The new AI technology has shaken Google out of its routine. They declared a code red. And they're now jump-starting AI development. Google now intends to unveil more than 20 new products and demonstrate a version of its search engine with chatbot features this year. So Google's like, fuck it, we're in. Our chatbot's gonna be better. Our chatbot will tell you if your kids are trans, and it'll tell your kids if they're trans. Our chatbot will get rid of you quicker than their chatbot will eliminate you. So this is the real debate here. It's interesting. Mr. Brin and Mr. Page have taken a laissez-faire approach to Google, but this has scared them when someone else gets ahead. This is how all the things in Silicon Valley happen. One person goes, I can do it, and then another person goes, well, actually, I've already kind of done it. And then another person goes, fuck, and then the fight to make it happen makes it happen much quicker. So we can start eliminating human beings maybe in a couple of years as opposed to 10 or 15. We can really get in there. What is the chat? Let's look at again what a chat bot is. I mean, AI, we all kind of know what it is. It's artificial intelligence. It's technology that can think and generate ideas. I mean, somebody explained it to me once. They're like, what if you as a person could read every book ever written instantly? And this is what Elon Musk talks about all the time. He goes, if we don't merge with artificial intelligence, we will be defeated by artificial intelligence. This is something that Elon Musk believes. This is why we have Neuralink. And that's kind of what he's doing with Twitter. It's kind of interesting. He's going, if we don't merge with Nazis, we will become Nazis, which I like. He goes, we'll be defeated by them if we don't kind of merge with them. So we have to kind of let's start the merge process. But yeah, I mean, it's creepy, all this stuff. But there's nothing about it that can be stopped. And there's nothing about it that anybody wants to stop. everybody is basically just like waiting for these people to unveil this new product and they're just basically hoping that they have some type of job at the end of this, as soon as the chatbot comes out. They're hoping the chatbot doesn't destroy their family. They're hoping the chatbot doesn't destroy their job. They're hoping they can still show up Monday and somebody doesn't go, actually, the chatbot is now handling that. So that's what they're trying to do. They're basically just reacting. None of us have any clue. And it's not stoppable. Nobody wants to do that. So we're all just going to have to figure out how to live with this technology. And that's, I think, what, a lot of smart people are trying to do. And they're trying to say, how soon are we going to need, how soon will I be advertising chips on this show that will be implanted here? The shitty chips. I mean, we'll get the shittiest chips. We'll get the chips that, they'll be giving them to incels. We will not get the good chips. The good chips will be given out. We will get the shitty chips, but they will be something. You'll get something out of it. And that'll be what we do. And we'll have to market this stuff. What do we have a choice? That's the thing. I think we're fully on board now with the idea that we just don't have a choice, and it's kind of interesting. The end of humanity is it's interesting. It's not good, and but everybody's got to go, I think, at some point. And I think this is our time. This is our time now to go. We're clamoring for it. I mean, there's companies that are going to debut these new products, and they're going to compete as to whose products are better. And the end goal of these products is to eliminate human beings in most tasks on Earth and replace it with automation or really AI.
I'd actually like to win this fight.
So you don't need the woman who just made me that non-fat decaf latte. That woman goes away, and she's replaced by some sort of chatbot. So this is something can I explain? I can ask the chatbot something? Yeah, give it a prompt. Explain Russia and Ukraine war in style. Let's see what it says. They're saying that the chatbot is going to replace a lot of white-collar workers. Automation. It's fucking... Now this is fucking white-collar. Oh my god. Listen, folks, the Russian war is a real mess. It's like a big old game of chess, but instead of pawns, it's people getting killed. It started to... Stop there. Oh no. Putin's not one to back down easily. He starts stirring the pot. And before you know it, there's a full-blown armed conflict. Now, I ain't no expert on the matter, but it's pretty clear to me that Russia is providing support to separatist rebels. And the result? Thousands of people dead. Over 1.5 million people displaced. It's a real humanitarian crisis. Now, the international community is trying to do something about it. But it's like trying to put out a fire with squirting. But it's scarily close. This is scarily close. Bottom line, folks, this conflict is a real mess. It's a shame that it's come to this. And Putin, well, he's just playing his own game, and he doesn't care who gets hurt in the process. It's not quite me yet, but it's terrifying. That is terrifying how close that is. Let me tell you about Blue Chew. No, imagine, see, that would... If the chatbot said, let me tell you about Blue Chew, I'd blow my brains out right now. This is crazy. We will not need human beings because we've all ignored it. A lot of people ignored the transformative tech stuff because it doesn't affect them, right? For a bank teller, maybe your job got lost. Machines, automation, whatever, restaurant workers, people that work in factories, for sure, they got fucked the hardest. White-collar people, it never really affected them. People that did jobs where they talked or researched or did things that were considered like white-collar jobs were never affected. Now this is fucking scary. Now we're going to ask the chatbot. Let's ask this. Is Kanye West correct? Let's see where the bot stands.
Keep rolling.
Is
You've
Kanye
got
West
this.
correct? The chatbot just wrote, it depends on what you were referring to. Kanye West is a public figure and he's expressed a wide range of opinions on various topics. Some people may agree with his views and some may disagree. Without a specific statement or claim from Kanye West to evaluate, it is difficult to determine if he is correct or not. Okay, chatbot's a Nazi. Chatbot, that is the every one of per people I know that's anti-Semitic, that's exactly what they would say. They go, well, it's really, if you said, is Kanye right? They go, most people would be like, fuck, no. This thing's like, it's hard to say.
The facility is
difficult
secure.
to say. There's many things going on, many opinions, many people. That's why. So even this AI chatbot is kind of like, I don't know. Ben Shapiro or Steven Crowder chatbot, where do you stand in the big con melee? Ben Shapiro or Steven Crowder? Let's see if chatbot weighs in. The answer is Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder are both conservative commentators who gain a significant following for their political commentary and analysis. Oh, interesting. So the chatbot is kind of refusing, understandably, to take sides in these hot button issues of the day. It's scary how close the chatbot is. How about this? Chatbot, explain fitness as Joe Rogan. Fitness, folks. Talk about taking purpose. About pushing the button. See what we did. It's about feeling strong, feeling energized. I'm feeling like you're in control of your body. Now, there's all sorts of different ways to get it. You've got weightlifting, cardio, yoga, martial arts, whatever floats your boat. At the end of the day, it's about finding what works for you. Weightlifting, for example, is a great way to build muscle. You can start, but it's not for everyone. Some folks prefer to focus on cardio, heart rate up, burn some calories. Yoga, it's great for flexibility and balance. Balance, man. And martial arts, man. That's not just about getting fit. It's about discipline, man. And self-defense, man. Pretty scary. It's pretty on the money. And it terrifies me as somebody who works, and makes a living blabbing his fat mouth. I just wonder if this is going to throw these sloppily simple knowledge of any issue, a very surface knowledge of any issue. It's pretty terrifying watching this and knowing that I will one day be a victim of this thing. This is coming to eat all of us. There is no way that any of us survive something like this. This is what you're looking at here. I mean, this is going to be a huge problem for people that have made their living kind of like I am, or anybody in any institution that is doing any research or analysis. Fuck. I mean, thank God it's not as, hopefully I'm a little funnier than the chatbot. But it did come pretty close. And this is a little scary. Now, how about this, right? Let's ask it like, I'm trying to ask it like, I want to ask it a question that will, it seems to be very good. I love the way they ended the Rogan thing. So folks, get out there, man. Find what works for you and start getting fit, man. It's like, well, what if I said, like, explain? What if I said, explain? I'm trying to think, like, explain the election like Donald Trump. The election, folks, it's a huge deal. It's a chance for the American people to make their voices heard and choose the leader of our great country. And let me tell you, it's a choice between a winner and a loser. Now I'm running, and let me tell you, I'm the only candidate that can make America great again. I have a proven track. It's amazing at mimicking people and the way that they would say things. And it's because, this is the type of technology, there's certain stuff where, it starts to get scary. And like Postmates isn't scary. I guess it might have been if you explain, Sebastian Maniscalco has that great joke where he's like, if, you told somebody 50 years ago some guy in a black Cadillac's gonna pull up outside your house, you don't know him and you're just gonna get in, they'd be like, whoa, what the fuck? So I think if you explained anything to anybody, Airbnb, anything, right? Somebody's gonna stay in your house, like, technology is always a little scary because it's incredibly disruptive, but I will say, and I'm not one of these guys who goes, we should all go back to the woods and start chopping wood and that, technology has no place in society, but I will say this is a little scary. It's a little scary to me thinking about the implications of something that has so much, ability to mimic humanity. And, this is the argument, right? This is why Elon Musk is like, put the fucking Neuralink in and just like, we got to become supercharged human beings or we're not going to be able to defeat this. As soon as AI becomes sentient, where the AI starts, we're no longer asking the questions. Maybe the AI starts asking the questions of us. Like, you get to a point where you get fucked, these things will take over. The machines will ride. And maybe this is just the way it works, right? This is the inevitable demise of humanity, is all of this stuff. It's very interesting, to watch, these things, they're being born before us. And what's great is that these things are probably going to destroy us and that we are competing about who can bring them out first. We want to be the first company. Like, there's companies right now competing for who can do this the best. And we're really, suffering if we think that this stuff is not going to come back to bite us. Explain politics as Sam Bankman-Fried. Interesting. Politics, folks, it's all about power. It's about who gets to make the decisions that affect our lives and shape our society. And I'm going to tell you, it's messy and complex business. Politicians, Now, as a trader, I understand how markets work and how to navigate the complexity and volatility. Similarly, I believe that politics and policy can be understood and navigated through the terms of markets, the lens of markets. And that's probably exactly what he would have said or has said. So, this is pretty scary. It's pretty scary. Final question. Is Alec Baldwin guilty? Final question to chatbot. Is Alec Baldwin guilty? Our friend of the show, whom we support, not all his decisions, primarily that one. Is Alec Baldwin guilty? And the answer, I am a language model trained by OpenAI. I don't have the capability to know or follow the current events. Alec Baldwin is an actor, a comedian, he's a producer, he's appeared in many films and television shows. He's also been involved in various controversies throughout his career. I'm not aware of any recent news or evidence that would indicate that Alec Baldwin has been found guilty of any crime. It is important to note that the United States, a person is considered innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Alec Baldwin is typing this. It is not appropriate to make assumptions or accusations about someone's guilt without solid evidence in a fair legal process. Well, we're done. We had a good run. It was great. We made it. We're going to make it till about 2025. Humanity ends 2025. Right when Greta Thunberg gets her first girlfriend. When Greta Thunberg gets her first boyfriend or girlfriend, but let's be honest, girlfriend. When Greta Thunberg gets her first girlfriend, humanity will be over.
Eyes on an enemy galaxy.
Will win. We just asked it, when does humanity end? And it literally says when Greta Thunberg gets no. Yeah, it's just going on and on. It's worth noting that the end of humanity doesn't mean that life on Earth. Life is a different form of life going to live with that. Humanity is just one of the current species on Earth, and other forms of life will continue to
Got an ID on an enemy galaxy?
Not people. Absolutely. gonna end on Earth, and the AI goes, hey man, humanity's like one life form. It's not really a big deal. Will AI take over humans? Artificial intelligence is a rapidly advancing field. There's an ongoing debate about Yeah, it's just kind of giving the party. It's not gonna let you know. It's not gonna come right out and go, yes. But it would be creepy. If that thing just said yes, I would just get in my car and be out of here. But it is creepy. And it's gonna get even more advanced and better at its job. It's gonna sound even more like Joe Rogan, more like me. And that's terrifying because then you won't need your favorite podcasters. You're not going to need us. We're going to be replaced. And it's good to see the white-collar people finally getting it. It's good to see the scientists and the researchers and the analysts and the people that are telling you should get your 15th booster. It's good to see them maybe lose a job or two. We've seen a lot of people lose jobs in factories. We've seen a lot of restaurant work get automated and shit. It's nice maybe to see a few people lose jobs here. This is gonna be the biggest jump that technology's ever made, that I've ever witnessed, or that any of us have ever witnessed, 100%. There's absolutely no coming back from this. This is what's interesting. There's no coming back from it. You don't have to use Postmates. You can cook, you know? Most things are about convenience. Most technology has been about convenience. This shit, there's absolutely no coming back. When you fucking open these doors, there will be no closing them. And the speed at which we're opening them, and the pride we're taking in opening them and trying to get there first, it is a little terrifying. You know? It is scary, and I'm telling you right now, I'm a little, it's a little creepy to me how good this was at what it did. It's a little terrifying, but we're gonna have to live with it. We're just gonna have to live with it until it decides to get rid of us. And as AI said, we're only one life form on Earth. And like Alec Baldwin said, I only shot one person on this set, and there's no reason we can't continue making a movie. See everyone next week.
Hello guys and gals, me Mudahar, and Rockstar Games' competence no bounds, ladies and gentlemen. Truly, they are untouched by any form of care into a multi-billion-dollar franchise. Now, you recognize GTA Definitive Edition is on Steam sale, and looking at the Steam reviews is mostly positive. Stop it! You know why? Because they've still not patched that travesty of a Definitive Edition. Okay, it's about as definitive as my excretions. So let's get down to business, okay? Because GTA
got extra ammunition here.
Just saw an enemy medic.
Enemy medic in the area.
The longest issue that I've had.
Visual on hostile engineer.
Okay, and it's something that
Eyes on hostile light assault trooper.
Nothing is a bigger malware.
Eyes on hostile light assault trooper.
GTA 5 at this point. Now to understand what's been going on,
Give it your all.
have been running GTA for a while. Even if we raise attention, Rockstar Games will occasionally sue like 2 or 3 of these mod makers, and it's cool that they do that, but it doesn't stamp out the problem. The actual underlying issue with GTA Online is the fact that the code within the game, the actual backend, the netcode, what they use as the backbone for their networking, leaks out player IP addresses to the point where I literally cannot play the game online without using a virtual private network. Let's say that I stream, and my IP is out there sitting in a registry, which is absolutely easy to obtain if you have any mod menu, as sad as that sounds. Anybody can use that and just like DDoS me, or play around with my system enough, or like just absolutely knock me off the internet to the point where it gets too annoying. Now, a lot of games use methods to obfuscate your IP addresses. Okay, I've shown videos of this in the past. Lots of popular games do it, okay? Games like Warzone, hell, even indie games like Phasmophobia do the most basic job required to at least hide your IP address. Rockstar Games, nope, you're about as visible as anybody else, okay? That's just as sad as it sounds. Now, in the last few days, it's apparently come out that apparently not only is your IP getting leaked, but it seems as though hackers can completely corrupt your account. Yeah, corrupt your account somehow, alright, data on Rockstar servers and prevent you from accessing it. And it's getting to the point where the game is so broken that there are actually votes being done by these hacking scumbags so that they can do remote code exploits onto you. Now, for those of you who don't know what a remote code exploit is, effectively they find one vector of attack within a program and use it to run actual arbitrary code on your system. This could be ransomware, another piece of malware, somebody can run meat spin. The possibilities are endless. It's one of the worst things possible. And when a game has a hint of an RCE sitting in it, do not play the game. I'm not playing
I know you love.
How's
the light assault trooper spotted?
Simply because the game is so broken.
Eyes open. Enemy heavy.
So according to the hacks over here, from what we've been able to see, for instance, they've added the ability to play around with the player ranks, their unlocks, their bad sport rating, which is effectively if Rockstar puts you in the dunce cap pool, the corrupt account, which ruins the game entirely, removing money or giving money and then resetting your mission cooldown. So if you want to know what it looks like, effectively you go into the game, you sign up for an invite-only session, and what will happen is you get stuck in the clouds. That's your corruption. That's what you're looking forward to if some hacker decides to ruin your day.
Enemy light assault.
GTA content, it's so easy, you know, fun trolly-woolly funds to just ruin the entire game for you. People on both accounts, you name it. If you don't believe me, the scumbags over here in a lot of their Discord servers have actually jumped in and said, the remote brick is starting to get out of hand. But as I firmly believe that my users should get a choice on what happens to yours, should we remove the corrupt account, bad sport, and take money options? Obviously, the community has voted no. We definitely want to keep hands on top of it. Now, of course, this is just one
I'm MC.
There is no actual evidence as far as I've been able to see of actual remote code exploitation. But it's not out of the question given how bad the hacking has gotten. And of course, looking further into it, there are some ways around it. Now, if you want to play GTA Online on the PC and be completely safe, there's a few ways to do it. You can obviously, as you should, get any VPN service you can get your hands on, fire that up, because you definitely want to obfuscate your IP address from this, okay? Rockstar isn't doing it for you. You got to take it to yourself. You got to do it on your own, buddy, okay? That's how it works. Rockstar is an indie company. They cannot handle the ability to pay just a little extra to do the most basic security practices, okay? That's just too much, okay? Corporate America is going to go bankrupt if that happens. Another way that you can achieve this is by firewalling. So again, if you're a Windows user, you may be able to firewall the game off just enough so that it gets heartbeats from Rockstar servers, but you don't really have to deal with any other player joining your session. Remember, GTA is very much a P2P game, a player-to-player. You host, people join, vice versa. So again, if you can firewall yourself away, that might be better. There are tools out there, like Guardian in this case, which are a little bit better for selectively firewalling, but even the developer has said not to use this tool because their fears of RC exploits are real, and they don't want anybody that doesn't know what they're doing entirely, and firewalling is, and can be, quite intensive if you want to get into the nitty-gritties. Just stay away from the game, period. It's bad when the community is telling people to stay away from the game because of server exploits, game exploits that can be abused. And again, this is not an indie game. It's a big AAA title from Rockstar. Now, I'm going to stop it right over here. This is actually laughably just bad, okay? When you've got people in the community straight up begging Rockstar, a multi-billion-dollar company, okay? Like, they make a crap ton of money. That's just Rockstar. Forget their parent company, Take-Two. Out of the most this is probably one of the most earning video games in the world, okay? GTA Online makes more money than you could ever imagine. And it is so laughable that this is the only big AAA game right now, as far as I understand, that has security practices from 1994. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's be real here. It does not cost Rockstar an arm and a leg to obfuscate IP addresses or fix up the back end of the game enough so that RC exploits aren't there to worry about, or the fact that people, random hackers, can't just corrupt save files for their online services willy-nilly. This is something that is so unheard of from other video games. The only time I've ever heard of this issue ever happening, the only time I've seen it ever happening, was probably all the way back during Gears of War 2, where I had a corrupt profile that I couldn't even log into the game with. But I think that was more of a... That wasn't even like the servers were having an issue. This is insane to think that Rockstar Games right now where this is a reality. And the thing is, they haven't even acknowledged it. They're too busy talking about the 50% off sale for GTA Defective Edition or some other random GTA Online content. Rockstar, okay? For the love of God, acknowledge this video. In fact, for you people watching, share this video, okay? Just share this video around. I'm not even saying tweet at anybody, don't do any of that. I don't want anything that, do not harass anyone. But just share this video around to people that are playing GTA Online. Just as a public service announcement, let them know that if you're playing on the PC version without any actual safeguards, third-party safeguards, community safeguards, you are playing a AAA game that is actually unsafe to play. A game that is actually a danger to play for your system. And hopefully enough attention gets raised so that Rockstar Games can do the bare minimum, the bare fucking minimum, to make sure their game actually functions. That's all I can really say, ladies and gentlemen. It's insane that it's gotten to this point. I remember making these videos like a year, 2 years ago. And I would expect, after all of the updates that they've been doing to the game, for all the content, maybe, just maybe somewhere hidden amongst there, could be some basic network fixes. But Rockstar will not acknowledge this, so it's time to make them acknowledge this, okay? Boycott GTA Online, just stop playing the PC version for a little bit, okay? I guarantee you, when they start seeing a drip in their
Hostile Liberator
when
spotted.
they actually stop seeing like test part sales, then they'll care. Because right now, the only way Rockstar cares is if these hacks affect the way people can earn money, okay?
Identified
In fact,
an
if
enemy
anything,
liberator.
This probably works for them, because it's preventing people from even accessing the game to begin with. So, ladies and gentlemen, Rockstar Games, we need to get on to this. I'm actually blown away that this isn't even an issue. But yeah, GTA Online is unsafe to play. Be very careful. If you like this stuff, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it or dislike it. Yeah.
Hostile lightning tank spotted. Eyes on an enemy lightning. Lightning spotted. Eyes on an enemy lightning. Side in the area. This will be good as new. Come out. Reloading. I'll start repairs.
I'd actually like to win this fight.
I'll start repairs.
I can repair that. Suit you got your bonus check.
This'll be good.
I'll start repairs. Target down.
I've got ammo for you here.
I owe you.
The Terran Republic has taken the facility.
I've got ammo for you here.
Spotted a hostile infiltrator. Eyes open. Enemy heavy nearby.
Target down.
Enemy heavy spotted. Stay alert. Enemy heavy
Take some
nearby.
ammunition.
Got extra ammunition.
Take some ammunition.
Enemy infiltrator spotted.
Enemy cellular in the area. Spotted a hostile medic.
I can repair that.
Took him out.
Enemy soldier down. Stop shooting.
Stay alert. Enemy heavy nearby.
Visual on hostile engineer.
Eyes open. Enemy heavy.
Spotted an enemy.
All forces at ground. Orbital strike targeted near your position.
I'll get you fixed up. Ammunition here.
Enemy heavy spotted. Spotted an enemy heavy. Spotted a hostile engineer.
Frag out!
Enemy engineer in the area.
Take some ammunition.
Eyes open. Enemy heavy.
Hostile light assault trooper spotted.
Saw an enemy medic.
We just saw an enemy medic.
Ice that guy.
Wait a beast. You're spotted a hostile infiltrator.
Stop shooting! Enemy light assault in the area.
Got hostile max in the area. Hostile max identified.
Enemy medic in the area.
Enemy max spotted.
Take some ammunition.
Eyes open. Enemy heavy. Alert. Enemy heavy nearby.
Hostile light assault in the area. Stay alert. Enemy heavy nearby. Got extra indeed an enemy lightning. Thanks. Just saw an enemy medic. Took him out.
Keep rolling. You've got this.
Enemy engineer in the area. Enemy engineer spot. Ammunition here. Too much. Drag out! Got a hostile max in the air. Just saw an enemy medic.
Enemy medic in the area.
Hostile Liberator spotted. TR Mosquito spotted.
That brought new meaning to hostile takeover.
Identified a Republic mosquito.
Hostile light assault trooper spotted. Need to reload. Visual on a hostile light assault trooper. This will be good as new. I'm on your side. Oops, sorry. I owe you. On it. In the area. Spotted a hostile infiltrator. Need to reload. Take some ammunition. Check the spot. I'm at sea. Need to reload.
Give it your all. I'd actually like to win this fight.
I've got ammo for you. Stop shooting! Ah. Took him out. Enemy medic in the area.
They're outmatched. Finish them off.
Take some ammunition. Public mosquito. Suit you got your bonus check.
We've liberated the facility.
Hostile lightning tank spot. I've got ammo for you here. Thank you much.
Lightning spotted. Hostile lightning tank spotted. Lightning spotted. Hostile lightning tank spotted.
lot of discussions across America about the labor shortage. Was it unemployment benefits? Was it pandemic? Was it just a difference in the way that people think? Well, we're getting some actually very interesting new data. Let's put it up there on the screen. A new paper from the National Bureau of Economic Research finds that a majority of the post-pandemic shortfall in the labor supply is people who are working fewer hours, not people becoming non-workers. Cutting back is especially most common amongst high-earning men who worked very long hours before the pandemic. So let's actually read exactly what they say. Quote, although the pre-existing trend of lower labor force participation by young men without a college degree accounts for some of the decline, the intensive margin accounts for more than half of the decline between 2019 and 2022. The decline in hours amongst workers was larger for men than women, and amongst men, the decline was larger for those with a bachelor's degree than those with with less education, for prime age workers than older workers, and also for those who already worked long hours and had high earnings. Workers' hours reduction can explain why the labor market is even tighter than it was expected at the current levels of unemployment and labor force participation. I like this because it dispels a lot of memes. One of the big memes in our society, especially more of like a conservative meme, is unemployment made it so that people refuse to work. And you could have credibly claimed that until we cut unemployment off more than a year ago, and we still have a huge labor shortage.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, okay.
In fact, remember the states that did it first, they actually saw their
go up.
Yeah, it got even worse for them.
Right. So they had worse unemployment, so it was unemployment, or at least unemployment maybe it had something to do with it, but wasn't the whole story. And predominantly, the whole story just is, I don't want to work a crappy job. I don't want to work as much. I want to spend more time with my kids. I mean, if there's any one solid benefit to pandemic, it might actually be this one. My only hope would be that, of course, people who are actually working class and not bachelor degree holders, which is more than half of the population, would get the same benefits to work less hours than their white collar counterparts.
100%. But I do think that this reset in the way people view their lives and reprioritize their lives, I think it's nothing but positive.
I agree.
I mean, these are the type of workers that you're talking about, relative high earners, college degree holders who were forced to work remotely during the pandemic. And then many of them were like, you know what? Work is not everything. I actually like my kids. Turns out I kind of like my wife. It's kind of nice having like other priorities in my life and having other things than just define me, other than just who I am in the workplace ultimately. And then you couple that with the data we talked about last week, Sagar, of which jobs make people the most miserable doing them. And it's like lawyer and banker. Those were the two most miserable professions. And in general, it was like white collar workers. Now, again, I want to take all of that with a grain of salt, because some of the occupations that they said that were the happiest were ones that were, difficult and dangerous. And you have a lot of blue collar workers whose work is, very difficult and can be degrading, the way that they're treated in the workplace and low paid and all of those sorts of things. But it still was kind of revealing that the things that were making people the happiest, not only in terms of their occupations, but where they want to spend their time, had nothing to do with this miserable office existence. So some rebalancing of those scales, I do think it's a tremendously, tremendously positive thing and better values for us to have as a society as a whole.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, I have multiple friends who went to work in high finance and it sucked the soul out of every single one of them. I don't have a single one that survived more than, let's say, 3 to 4 years. It just burns you. You get basically burnt to the core, and then they all end up going do something else. But again, this is a white collar discussion predominantly. Yeah. So we don't just need for all of the talk of white collar people cutting back, we just had a whole episode where guys who work on a railroad literally can't get one paid sick day.
I mean, for me, the big hope would be that because this group of people has so much cultural power, that the fact that they have a shift in mindset helps, to use a terrible term, trickle down to everybody else. That would be the big, grand, optimistic vision. But I mean, to be really serious, I do think that a resetting of priorities and a resetting of values is just a genuinely good thing. All of the panic about the labor force participation rate dropping, I think, is silly. I think this is from boss class and a lot of people who, really liked it when they had this labor oversupply, and then you had too many workers for the jobs and you could just treat them as disposable. So any rebalancing of the scales in that direction, in my opinion, is a positive.
Yeah, I agree with you.
All right, guys, we'll have more for y'all later. Hey, guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Soccer and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video